Man, oh man, what's going on, Alpha Pack? It's your boy Alpha Male 926, aka Mouse Sauce 926, and we're back with another special episode of Modern Monday. Man, I have been playing Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, pretty much non-stop for like the last 2.5 weeks. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I've been playing it every day and really haven't been playing anything else other than that. So I went on this journey and I came to grips that I was going to go for the platinum. And I never forget the day I went to buy Sekiro. I went to GameStop, by the way. And I went in there. And this was like right after I had platinumed Elden Ring. So this is how long I've been playing this. And the guy in GameStop was like, "Oh, I don't think you're ready for this." And I said to myself, like, I just platinumed Elden Ring, bro. How could you say such a thing? But I'm like, I'll take his warning as it's going to be a difficult game. And it had its difficult moments. It really, really did. But the more you play it, the more you get used to the combat, the timing, the deflect, and everything like that, it's a major W. I'm going to be honest with you. This game was fun. Super, super fun. From Software, done it again. Like I say, man, this game was really amazing. Honestly, if I didn't just go through the super grind that I did to get this platinum trophy, I probably would have immediately played it again. But I'm going to take a little break, let my mind come at ease, and I got a whole bunch of other games I'm trying to get down right now anyway. So, I'm going to take a little break from Sekiro, but I might just return, man. It's crazy that game's been out for like 4+ years at this point, and we never got any DLC for it or anything like that. Like, I was watching some videos of people playing it and talking about how they thought it was going to be a DLC to come out for it, and just nothing. It's a little weird. I guess all their time went to getting into Elden Ring, so, it is what it is. But in any case, man, thank you all for being here. Please hit that like button and help me out in the channel and help my dreams come true. I do appreciate you all very much for that. And if you're new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. So this is my first time ever doing like a official platinum video, like me talking through each part that I did and how it all went down for me and everything of that nature. So bear with me. I'm trying not to be super long-winded, but we're going to try to see how this goes. But in any case, there's 34 trophies for the overall for you to get for the platinum. You got 14 trophies that's dedicated to just bosses themselves. Not including the mini bosses, which there are plenty of those, but you do need to beat them in order to get some of these trophies done. There's 4 endings. In my cheese that I did, you can go ahead and you can upload your save data to the cloud. If you got PS Plus, you already know what that is. And you can do one ending, go back and do another one. You can get like 2 endings in one go or multiple things of that nature. But we'll get deeper into that later on. So, starting off with the first trophy, the Revered Blade. When you first start the game off in the cave and you wake up and you make your way to your master Sekiro, he'll automatically give you the sword. So that's instantly the first trophy. Now, as you're progressing from there on forward, you get into your first sort of boss battle, but you end up losing that fight storyline wise. So your arms get chopped off, and then eventually you wake up by the sculptor, and he'll give you your prosthetic tool, which is the Shinobi prosthetic, and it'll be your second trophy. So while going through the world of Sekiro, you'll come across these little merchants and these like little tents, and they'll give you your third trophy, the Memorial Mob. So he's a little merchant you can buy things from, things of that nature. It's like maybe like 4, I believe, scattered across the map. It's not that many of them, but they're around. Now at this point, unfortunately for me, before I even got super into everything in the game, I ended up fighting Lady Butterfly at this point. But I died. Very, very bad. Balled me straight up. And that's how I ended up getting my 4th trophy, Resurrection. Just returning from the dead, so on and so forth. It's easy, straightforward. However, in actuality, I ended up leaving Lady Butterfly to come back to later, and I ended up fighting my first boss officially was Jinobu. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right. He's in the Sheena Castle Gate. That fight was pretty easy, straightforward. Just needed firecrackers. It was fun. Easy as hell. But also, speaking of firecrackers, you do get those from the Memorial Mob little merchant guy. So that's how I got the first like little prosthetic tool to use, which was the firecracker. So that's also another trophy that we're going to have to get to down the line. After I wrapped things up with the first boss, then I went back and got my revenge on Lady Butterfly. After taking out Lady Butterfly, I went ahead and had to get in the fight with Genichiro, who was the same gentleman that we had our first boss fight with that instantly cut off our arm. So we got a little revenge there, but that will not be the last time we see him, unfortunately. Now, after the Genichiro fight, there's a lot of mini bosses throughout the game that you encounter, certain different locations around the map or whatnot. And I'm not going to show you all of them, but there's like 4 headless. It's like 2 underwater that you got to wait till you get deeper into the game to get the ability to dive in water. You got the drunkard boss. It's like 2 of those. There's some more that I can't think of. Instrument warriors. There's a few of them I can't think of right now off the top of my head. But you have to beat all those bosses in order to get the trophy for Man Without Equal, which is defeat all the bosses. And that requires also to have 2 playthroughs, but we'll touch upon that very momentarily. But I just want to let you guys know about that, which after that it ends up leading me to the folding monkeys in the Senpu temple. This one was pretty much a nice little, figure out how to catch the monkeys. They weren't really a problem. They had little phantom monkeys that come out and try to attack you and things of that nature, but it's nothing that's really hard to deal with. It's more of a quote unquote gimmick fight, as my boy would say. Cowboy, appreciate you, bro, because your walkthrough definitely helped me out with this plat. So if you see this, and I doubt you are, I thank you, sir. I truly thank you. So after you fight the monkeys, there's a lot of area covers in which will eventually, with your skill points, it'll get you the Master of Arts, which is just completing one of the tiers that you have in your skills, which you have, I believe, 4. Some of them you get by completing little side quests. Some of them you get from defeating bosses, things of that nature. But that's how you get that. By that point, after that, I get done with my first Guardian 8 boss, which was, for me personally, I don't know about you guys, but it was harder for me to beat this boss than it was to beat the 2 apes that you fight later on, which is another trophy that you need for both of those fights. And I'm skipping ahead in my notes a little bit, to be honest with you, but second ape fight, it wasn't that difficult for me, man. And there's even a part where if you can lock the ape in a certain position before he gets to call the second ape, you can actually beat him before the second ape even gets there. Now, that's not how it went for me, but I've seen it. I've seen some crazy things happen in this game. And one of the cheeses I will show you that I did, because, I mean, hey, why not? I had to try it, and it actually worked for me, but we'll get to that later on. But I knocked out the apes, and I also got done one of my most just greatest moments, it felt to me, man, because throughout the game you get followed by this serpent, man, in certain positions when you on the map, and you gotta hide from him. Some he'll block you off, so you gotta have a puppeteer move that you get from the monkeys that you can like control like an enemy, and they'll do something for you. Like they'll either pull up like a kite for you to swing off of to get to another area, or in this case a monkey will go and block off, like kind of distract the serpent from where you're trying to go, and you can get in there, but then you can't get back out, but you want to go ahead anyway. But just by defeating this serpent, man, it felt so satisfying. So there's, like I said, there's a lot of areas in the game that you're going to end up going to, but there's 3 Nujitsu techniques that you need to get, and they're obtained by beating different bosses around the map. And that's how I got that trophy for my Nujitsu technique. Now, after that, it gets to a point where you can upload, for me, because I'm on PlayStation, by the way, you can upload your save data at this point, and this can help you get multiple endings. Now, this sort of, in a way, feels like it came back to bite me in the end, but we'll talk about that in a moment. But at this point, I've uploaded, and I got done the Shira ending, which gave me the trophy for that, and also the Ishin boss fight. Sekiro. Now, on top of that, once you get done with the Ishin boss fight, then you can re-download your data and then work towards the other endings, which you have to fight the Great Owl for the first time. You got to fight him again too. It's a lot of that happens, but you know, what can you do? But it's all right. Followed by that, once you get done with the first Owl boss fight, you can fight him again in Harada Estate, which is like in a memory, so you can get a piece that you need for one of the endings, and they'll give you Father Surpassed. By this point, you're getting ready to make your way to the Fountainhead Palace, so that by getting there, they'll give you the trophy Ashina Traveler, and there's 8 main areas you need to get to, and the Fountainhead Palace should be the last one you need to get to. Through that, the first fight that you're going to get into once you get to Fountainhead Palace is going to be the Corrupted Monk. That was slightly difficult, but it was okay though. I liked that fight. It wasn't too bad. It was okay. But I will say this though. Once you get into Fountainhead Palace and you move around, things of that nature, even before that, there's 2 characters in the game which are the same character. They're just different personality wise that you can do for a side quest. They're like carp scales that you can acquire through the game. Some you can just pick up in certain areas once you be able to dive. Some you can go into different waters and kill carps and you get the scales, and you can use those as currency to buy something from the little pot dudes. I call them the pot guys. But there's one, you can choose whichever one you want, but the one that's at the Harada Estates is the one that I usually did it with in both my playthroughs. Actually, you can get this precious bait from him, and you'll find other precious bait around the map, but it's one specifically from him that you can get, that you got to feed the great colored carp, which in turn kills it and then turns the pot dude into a carp. But that's also a trophy that you got to get for the great colored carp, and it also helps you get the Lapis Lazuli, which you'll end up needing for another trophy later on. So also another passive trophy that you can get while going through the game and just picking up items and opening little chests that are around the areas. You'll get 9 gourd seeds, and you can give those to Emma, and they will give you the ultimate healing gourd, which will give you 10 heals. Next trophy I got after that was the Gracious Gift of Tears, which you get from defeating the Defiant Dragon boss in Fountainhead Palace, which is the main boss of that area, and another vital item that you need for one of the endings. Okay, we're getting down to the last few trophies that we're going to need to get for the Platinum Man. So if you've been watching this video all the way through, I greatly do appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support. I couldn't do this without y'all. Now, after that, I got the Peak Physical Strength, which is for you to max out your vital and your posture. Now, in order for you to do that, again, like I said, you got to defeat all the bosses in the game. When you defeat the bosses in the game, they will give you like the little prayer beads, and you put them all together, and it makes like 10 total like necklaces or like bracelets or whatever. But there's 40 of them you need to find. Some of them you can find like laying around like chests as well, just like the gourd seeds, but a lot of them are locked behind the little sub mini bosses. So get to finding those prayer beads and get you some pink strength, you know what I'm saying? So after you get done with that, the next trophy I got was the Demon of Hatred boss, and a lot of people had a hard time with this boss, I included. The first time I tried to fight that man straight up, didn't go well. Bad idea. And the fact that he got 3 phases to go through too, oh no, not for me. So eventually, I found this cheese. I can't remember who it was, the video I seen, but I'll put a little picture of it right here so y'all can see it just in case. But you can do this fight without even fighting him. And I'm going to have this video right here so you can check that out. But this is how I got my Demon of Hatred trophy. as I said earlier, when you do the cart mission, you can buy, I want to say, 2 of the Lapis Lazulis from the cart guy. And by doing so, you can upgrade any one of your tools to the max, because you need the Lapis Lazuli to do that. And unfortunately, which I'm going to jump into later, you're going to have to probably redo this again just to get more pieces, because you can only get, I believe, 6 of the Lapis Lazuli through a single playthrough. So you're going to have to play through it twice in order to get all the pieces that you need to get another trophy later on. But we'll jump into that later on as well. Also, I want to say, I know I'm saying that name wrong, the Lapis Lazuli, that's what I call it. But I don't know what that second word says, Lazuline or something like that, but I just call it like Lapis Lazuli. That's just me personally. But after you get that trophy, at this point, you can get 3 endings. You can get the Return trophy, which is the Dragon Homecoming ending, the Purification ending, and Immortal Severance if you back it up again. So at this point, the boss that you got to beat is Sword Saint Ishin. And you also fight Genichiro at the first phase of this fight. But this boss fight was fun. I had a good time with this one. This one was pretty cool. Once I found my rhythm of what his attacks was and when to attack and when not to attack, it actually got pretty easy to do this fight. But I had a good time with this one too. Now at this point, you got to start your second playthrough. And this is where I feel like, in my mind, potentially, I could have went a different route with this. Now, the reason why I say this is because earlier on I had told y'all I did the Shira ending. I feel like I could have waited to do the Shira ending on my second playthrough, and then I would have just got that trophy there and potentially got the Men Without Equal trophy at the same time. But since I split it up the way I did, I ended up having to do the Shira ending again, because each time you kill a boss, you get a memory. And each memory you get is how the game tracks which bosses you've done and which ones you haven't done. And since I did the Shira ending the first time and then went back and did the other endings, I didn't have the memory of issuing the first one. So I had to go back and redo that ending. And then after I did that Shira ending again, I got the trophy for Men Without Equal, and then I had to continue playing through again just so I can get back to the Fountainhead Palace to get to the point where I can buy the Lapis Lazuli again from the pot dudes or the cart by that point. And then I was able to upgrade all my prosthetics to the max, which led me down to one more trophy that was the hardest one to get, that took the most time for me to get, honestly. Was the Height of Technique trophy. You had to get all the skills in the game, and when I tell y'all, I had to grind this one spot for so long, it was a tedious thing, man. Like all the other trophies, even though they had difficulty and I had to do fights over and over sometimes depending on what fight it was, that pales in comparison to this. Grinding out skill points in here, for me, it felt like it takes so long, but at the same time, I liked it, this little area. This is towards the end of the game. This is where I was getting most of my damage in and stuff like that. So going through this little loop, which I'm going to show you here, it got to a point where it was I want to say 4 purple soldiers, 2 red shinobis. You got the little blue samurai dude, but they really don't give you that much. They give you 10 or 40 points, something like that, so it's not really worth killing them. But I mean, it adds up all in all. And then there's one more a long, I don't know what to call this fucking weapon that he has. It's the one that they always thrust at you. I'm not sure what it's called, but and then that enemy, he gives you 1,400 or something. But all in all, killing all of them in this little route that I was taking would give me 15,128 XP each time I did it. So I just kept running through this over and over and over again. And then eventually, on the last one, I bought the last 2 skills. It took me 15 that I had to get at that point. But bing, bang, boom. And that gave me the platinum trophy, and it took me 71 hours in total to get it. That seems like a long time. Some might say that wasn't long enough. Considering how long it took me to get the platinum with Elden Ring, 71 hours is pretty good for me. So with that being said, I do want to ask y'all this question. If you platinum Sekiro, how long did it take you? If you haven't platinum, will you go back and try to platinum it? Or do you not even like games like this? It's questions I need to know. I would love to get answered. We can talk about it down below in the comment section. There you have it, man. That was my platinum journey with Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. And like I said, man, this was a very, very beautiful, fun game. And if I personally had to rank the From Software games that I've played, which could be a video one day, so I'm not going to spoil it all, but I would say Sekiro definitely is in my personal top 2. I will say that. I've had a good time with this game, man. It's been really fun, and I'm glad I was able to platinum in, and it feels good for this to be a platinum that I got in 2023. I think this is maybe my fifth or sixth platinum this year. I can't remember. I've platinum a couple games this year, man, so this is probably gonna be the last one I get of 2023, so that's a celebration within itself. But 2024 is on the way, and I can't wait to see what games are coming that will be on my platinum list next, man. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you for being here on this journey with me. Even if you're new to this journey, I appreciate you as well, because it doesn't matter if you subscribe from day 1 or day 364. It don't matter. Either way, y'all are part of this journey. Y'all helping me out, and I greatly appreciate you all. Special shout out to the wife, because she keeps me going, and I thank you, love, for holding me down, watching every video, liking every video, commenting every video. You're an absolute W. So thank you so much. I love you. And with that being said, man, that's the end of the video. I appreciate you all as always, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.